Like a withered cabbage with a little sharp nose stuck on it, and a shock of hair like prickly gorse. His little red eyes were never still for a moment, winking up at Mick's head and then down to his feet. Mick began to feel afraid.
Surely must be a goblin of some kind. I'd best hurry and get past him.
So Mick started driving the cow on. But the little man kept beside him, though you couldn't say he was walking. He seemed to glide along the rough road as though blown by some wind that no one else could feel. Presently, he spoke to Mick.
Where might you be going, Mick Purcell?
I'm going to market, and a long way it is, to be sure.
And why are you going to market?
To sell my cow. Why else?
Oh, is that so? Well, sell her to me.
Mick didn't want to say yes, but he was afraid to say no. He was scared to open his mouth at all. But open it at last he did.
What will you give me for my cow?
The little man pulled a bottle from under his coat.
I'll give you this bottle.
An empty bottle for a cow. Do you think I'd be so stupid?
Oh, you'd better take the bottle and give me the cow. How do you know the cow won't die before you get to market?
Huh?
Mick began to shiver and shake. He was afraid that the little man might put a curse on the cow.
And if the cow does get there, she's but a poor, thin creature, and you'll be getting no good price for her at all. And how do you know that you won't be robbed of what little money you get in these lonely parts? Come now, come. You be taking the bottle and giving me the cow. You'll not be sorry for it. I have a warmth in me heart for you, Mick Purcell, and my bottle will bring you luck.
Luck? It's myself is in need of it. But I don't like the looks of that empty bottle. And what will my Molly say?
Let her say what she will. Let her screech herself blue. You take the bottle and do as I say, and before you know it, you'll be a rich man.
So they went on arguing for a long time, till at last the little man got angry and stamped his feet.
For the last time I'm asking you, Mick Purcell, will you be giving me the cow and taking the bottle with the luck inside it? Or will you be selling the cow for very little money at the market and then hearing your children cry for bread?
Well, Mick could stand no more of it, so he snatched up the bottle.
Harry, then, take the cow. And if there's no luck in this bottle, may the curse of the poor light on you.
It's not lies I've been telling you, Mick Purcell, but the truth. You'll find out if you do as I say. When you get home, pay no heed to your wife's screeching, for screech she will. Bid her sweep the room and spread a clean cloth on the table. Then stand the bottle on the floor and say, "Bottle, do your duty."
Bottle, do your duty. And what then?
You'll see. Indeed you will. And now, good day to you, Mick, for you're a rich man.
Well, Mick didn't feel rich, and he wasn't liking any of it. But the little man had the cow, and Mick had the bottle. So he turned back on his way home. When he'd gone a few steps, he looked over his shoulder, but he couldn't see the little man or the cow. Fear got hold of him then, and he began to run, and he reached home quicker than you'd think possible.
Molly! Oh, Molly, my heart! Where are you?
Why, Mick! I wasn't expecting you yet. But now that you're back, give me some money to go out and buy some bread.
Alas, Molly, I have no money at all.
No money?
No.
Then you brought the cow back with you? You didn't go to the market at all?
I did not go to the market, but I sold the cow, so I did. And this is what I got for her.
An empty bottle! Is it out of your mind, you are, Mick Purcell?
Mary.
What use is an empty bottle? And now we've lost our cow. Oh, you fool! You agent! Oh, Mick Purcell! Oh!
Mick told her the whole story, but that didn't stop her screeching. She called him every bad name she could think of. But by and by, she got a bit quieter, and she fetched a broom and swept the room and put a clean cloth on the table.
Well, now, we'll see, Mick Purcell, if that old bottle will make our fortunes.
Mick stood the bottle on the floor as the little man had told him.
Bottle, do your duty.
And out of the bottle came two tiny men carrying plates of silver and dishes of gold, all full up with good things to eat. They set the plates and dishes on the table, and when all was done, they went back into the bottle.
Why, Molly, it was no lie the little man was telling me about the bottle, huh?
Indeed, no. It was the truth. And a good bargain you made, Mick Purcell. Oh, did ever you see such a feast?
So Mick and Molly and all the children sat down to table and ate such a meal as they'd never had before in their lives. And when they could eat no more, Molly looked down at the bottle.
I wonder now, when will the kind little gentleman come for the dishes?
But the bottle stood upon the floor, and there was no stir nor any sign of life in it. So Molly washed the dishes and left them tidy on the table for the little men to carry away later. Then Mick and Molly and the children all went to bed. But in the morning, there were the gold and silver dishes on the table, just as Molly had left them. And as Mick felt hungry again, he said to the bottle,
Bottle, do your duty.
Hey presto! Out came the tiny little men carrying more gold and silver dishes, all full of delicious food, and the family sat down to breakfast. And so it was with every meal that day and in the days that followed. The tiny men never carried away any of the empty dishes, but they brought more full ones, so the room was soon filled with the gold and the silver.
I'm thinking, Mick, these fine dishes are meant as a present to us. And if we're not rich now, it's rich we can be by selling them.
Then sell them we will, Molly. Oh, the bottle has surely brought us good luck.
So Mick went off to town and sold the dishes. First, he bought a horse and cart with the money. Later on, he bought land, and more land. And then he built himself a bigger house. For always there were more and more of the gold and silver dishes to sell. Soon he became a rich man. Well, he couldn't become so rich without folk getting to know of it. And one day, in came Mick's old landlord to ask the meaning of it all.
How is it you are so rich, Mick Purcell, when you never had a penny to pay my rent?
Well, there's no reason for me not to tell you. I have a magic bottle that has brought great good fortune to me.
Have you indeed? I would like to borrow this bottle.
Sure you can borrow it, but take care not to break it and bring it back to me in a week.
The landlord agreed, so off he went with the bottle. And all that week he was getting the good meals for himself, and the gold and silver dishes. But when the week was out, he didn't want to return the bottle. So he got another bottle, very like Mick's bottle, but without the magic in it, and he took it round to Mick's house.
Here is your bottle, Mick Purcell. But I must tell you, the magic doesn't work anymore.
Mick didn't believe him. So when the landlord had gone, he stood the bottle on the floor.
Bottle, do your duty. Sure, the magic does seem to have gone. Still, it's no great matter. I'm rich now, and I'm not to be any richer, it seems.
But Mick didn't stay rich for long. He'd got used to spending like a lord, and soon all his money came to an end. So he had to sell his horses and his cattle, and this, that, and the other thing, until he woke up one morning to find himself with but one cow left and only a dish of porridge for breakfast.
Molly, my heart, we're poor again. We've no money at all. So what'll we do?
I'm thinking you'll have to take the cow to the little man on the hill and ask for another bottle.
So I will then. But will he give me one now?
Who knows? You can only ask.
So Mick set off, driving the cow along the 6 miles of flat and the 6 miles of hill. And when he got near to the top of the hill, just as before, the little man appeared suddenly from behind the bank.
Good morning to you, Mick Purcell. And wasn't it true what I was telling you, that you'd be a rich man?
Oh, it was true. But the bottle has lost its power, and now I'm a poor man again. This is my last cow, and I was thinking you might find it in your heart to take her in exchange for another bottle.
Well, I have a warm heart towards you, Mick Purcell. I'll take the cow, and here's another bottle. Now you know what to do with it.
Mick thanked the little man, took the bottle, and set off home. He hadn't gone many steps when the little man called after him,
Mick Purcell, my bottles never lose their power.
and then he disappeared. Mick wondered what he meant. But he was in a hurry now to get home and give his family a good meal. When Molly saw the bottle, she was delighted.
Sure, and it's a lucky man you are, Mick Purcell.
She quickly swept the floor and spread a clean cloth on the table. Mick set down the bottle.
Bottle, do your duty.
Hey presto! Out of the bottle jumped two huge, rough men with big clubs. And thump, thump, thump went the clubs on the backs of Mick and Molly and the children. Till they all lay flat on the floor. And then the two huge men went back into the bottle. Mick was badly bruised. The clubs had nearly beaten the life out of him, but they had beaten some new sense into his head. And it came to him how the little man had said, "My bottles never lose their power." If that was so, the landlord must have deceived him. So he tucked the new bottle under his coat and went to see the landlord. A servant answered the door and told him his master was giving a party. And then the landlord himself came hurrying out.
What do you want, Mick Purcell? You can see I'm busy.
Oh, I don't want much, no. I have another bottle, and I thought maybe you'd like to borrow it.
Another bottle, huh? Is it as good as the first?
Oh, faith it is. And better.
Oh, come your ways in, then. We'll show all these ladies and gentlemen what it can do.
So Mick went in and heard the music playing. He saw all the gold and silver dishes laden with food upon the table, and all the guests sitting round with the servants waiting on them. And he saw his old bottle, too, standing high on a shelf, nearly out of sight. Then Mick stood the new bottle on the floor.
Bottle, do your duty.
And hey presto, out came the two huge men with their clubs and set about beating everyone. In a moment, the landlord and the guests and the servants were running and screaming and tumbling to the floor, while all the gold and silver dishes clattered on top of them.
Mick Purcell, stop these devils or I'll have you hanged.
They shall never stop till I get back my own bottle that's standing on that shelf.
And take it then. Take it before we're all murdered.
Mick reached up and took down his old bottle, and at the same moment, the two huge men went back into the new bottle. Then Mick put both bottles under his coat and went home.
And now I've got even with that cheating landlord. He won't bother me anymore.
Soon Mick grew rich again, and rich he stayed to the end of his life. But the hill where he met up with the strange little man got a new name. From that day to this, it's been called Bottle Hill. And that's the end of our story. Now it's time to say goodbye till next time. Goodbye.